Hello and Happy New Year, and welcome to 2025's Wednesday Wisdom video snippets. My name is JB Hilliard, and first let me just say this really quickly. I want to thank those of you who had checked in on me, who had sent warm wishes, condolences throughout the year. That I'm truly just glad 2024 is behind us. It was a very challenging year for me personally, a lot of loss of family and friends. And so, again, I thank those of you who were aware, who sent warm wishes, kind thoughts, and prayers to me and all of the different family units who were affected. So I'm glad 2024 is behind us, ready to get going here in 2025. And I also want to thank those of you who've been asking about the Wednesday Wisdom videos. They are back, ladies and gentlemen. And so for this week, I just wanted to briefly talk about not quite a revelation I had, but sort of an idea that came to me over the Christmas break or the holiday break while I was signing up for yet another let's say service, and having to create another account ID and password, and thinking about all of the different accounts and passwords that I have. And particularly for my single folks out there, I thought it was a better idea. I personally don't want to use one of those online services, and I'm not saying that they're good or bad. I just personally don't want to use one of those. And besides that, you need a password to get into that as well. And so if you do have that, that's great, where you have a place where all of your passwords are so that you can let your executor or that person that's going to be taking over things for you should something happen to you, let that person know where that is or how to get into that, then that's great. But I thought of a better way because I like papers. If you saw my office right now, you can probably see in the back of me, I've got piles of papers everywhere. That's not necessarily a good thing. But for where my important documents are, or my more important documents are, I have or will have by the time I'm finished an address book that I'm using for my password logins, so that it's still all in one place for my personal representative to find it. And of course, the goal is to let him know where that information is before something happens to me, so I can, have that conversation. But I thought that was a really a better idea for me and what I have going on, to utilize that, and then that way all the logins, all the accounts are in alphabetical order, obviously, because it's an address book, and then you can have the login information in there. So that's just one idea. We'll talk more about that part of the estate planning process, of course, as we go along throughout the year. But one other thing, I wanted to change things up a little bit, at least for this first quarter, and let you know that we're going to be going back to a continual series of videos to sort of have a case and continue that case throughout its end, which will take up more than one or two video segments because I try to keep these short. And so look out for that. I got a lot of good feedback the previous time I did that with one of the cases I was actually presently working on at the time. So we'll bring that back, and I'm looking forward to sharing some lessons learned with you via our Wednesday Wisdom times together. So with that said, as always, I thank you for watching. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next week.